folks, this is Rod Charles here at Oxford High School over the Wildcats. We have a swim and diving meet tonight featuring the Wildcats against the West Bloomfield Lakers. And I assume that they're called Lakers because they can swim. So looking for a big meet tonight. First home meet for the season. Oxford versus West Bloomfield here at the Oxford High School Natatorium. It's, per usual, pretty warm here at the high school, but outside as we speak, it is really cold tonight. I know for the people viewing the meet tonight, they're going to stay toasty warm, at least till the meet's over. But we hope to see some really hot action here at the swim pool tonight. So let's get ready for the meet. Oxford against West Bloomfield. The Star Spangled Banner will be coming up very soon. Coaches, officials, everyone standing. Again, this is Rod Charles on the microphone. Russell Courier operating the camera. Oxford High School versus the West Bloomfield Lakers. December 7th, 2017, Pearl Harbor Day. So, per usual, we're going to start out with the 200-yard medley relay. That's 2 lengths of each stroke. Back, breast, fly, freestyle. Swimmers are getting over to the blocks in their respective lanes. So the Wildcats, as is the usual case, we're usually in the even lanes. So lane 1, we've got Steve Felton, Benjamin Datsko, Ethan LaRock, and Lachlan Palmrose. Lane 4 for the Wildcats, John Bagans, Mike Skepka, Garrett Warren, and Zach Beatty. Lane 6 for the Wildcats, Alexander Zeiser, Peter Bagans, Zach Alnian, and Nolan May. Lane 8 for the Wildcats, Simon Arnold, Matthew Sabadak, Paul DeAngelis, and Cameron Mumbry. 2-4-6-8. 200-yard medley relay. As I said, Russell Courier with the camera. So if the scene looks fuzzy, give Russell a call. Okay, swimmers are up, getting ready. Get their goggles nice and tight. Okay, just heard official Jim Edgar telling the backstrokers it's okay to get wet. Once again, Oxford's in the even lanes. Lane 2 is the lane that's closest to the camera. There's nobody in lane 1.
Come on.
2 lengths backstroke, followed by 2 lengths breast, 2 lengths fly, then 2 lengths crawl stroke. And as we like to do to remind people about the flags that are draped across the pool, those flags are there to help the backstrokers know where they are in the pool so they can time their turns and time their finish. Wildcats have a nice lead in lanes 4 and 6. Lane 2 is right up there. Let's hit the water. Come on, guys. 2 lengths breaststroke. Big thing to watch on breaststroke are two-handed touches at the turn and at the finish. 2 hands, you touch with 1 hand, you get a big DQ. I don't mean Dairy Queen. Huge lead over here in lane 4 for the Wildcats. We have a contest going on between lane 5 and lane 6. And lane 2 is hanging in there. Let's see what happens on the butterfly. Now the scoring on relays, the first 3 teams get points. Well, 8-4-2 is the scoring on relays, so Oxford could potentially pick up 12 points. Let's see what happens. West Bloomfield's catching up over there in lane 6. So Oxford gets a first, West Bloomfield gets second, and the Wildcats get third and fourth. And if things stay the same, Wildcats are also going to pick up a fifth. Fifth place, that is. All the meets and athletic events and all the wonderful activities that go on in our great community can be seen on OCTV, Charter Channel 191. For AT&T folks, it's channel 99. Once again, this is Rod Charles with the microphone, Russell Courier with the camera. Okay. Charter 191, AT&T 99. Our officials tonight, Jim Edgar and Jason Leshevich. 2 experienced officials. They've been both doing this for quite a long time. As we just heard, head coach for the Wildcats, Jackie Rank. Diving coach, Mr. John Pearson. In the OAA, the Auckland Athletic Association, teams are divided by colors to tell what level of competition they face in every respective sport. In boys swimming this year, swimming and diving, we are in the OAA white. Now that's the same division we were in last year, by the way. The white is very, very competitive. I should say very competitive. Red is competitive, but they tend to be the larger schools, you know, like Clarkston or Lake Orion. So Oxford's in the OAA white division in swimming and diving here. Very, very competitive conference. So 200-yard medley relay just finished up. Wildcats took 1 free. That's a great start. That means they picked up 12 points. The competition picked up 4. Now we're going to an individual race, the 200-yard freestyle. Now the 200 free is 8 lengths crawl stroke. And once again, here at the beginning of the season, I like to remind people that when we say freestyle, as we see on the meet sheets, it literally means a swimmer could do any stroke they want. They can do butterfly, they can do backstroke, they can do breaststroke. Most do the crawl stroke because it's faster. Division I state qualifying for the 200 free is 146.79. For D2, it's 149.39. This is 8 lengths of the pool. Right now we're waiting. Jim Edgar, the official, is just going over the last race with the people working the scoreboard, make sure everything is copacetic. Okay, let's take a look and see who's coming up here in the 200 freestyle. Once again, Wildcats, even lanes. Lane 2, Cameron Mumbrew. Lane 4, Cole Bukowski. Lane 6, Benjamin Dasko. Cameron Mumbrew, Cole Bukowski, and Benjamin Dasko. Lanes 2, 4, 6, 8. And once again, lane 2 is the lane closest to the camera if you're watching. First 50 freestyle was roughly about a 28 flat split. For parents watching or swimmers, it's nice to know your splits. It's one of the ways you get better, is knowing your pacing. Here comes the 100-yard. Okay, lead swimmer hits at about a 50, well, I don't know, I couldn't quite see. We had someone walk in front, but it looked like about a 57 roughly. That's a pretty good split at 100. Okay, here we are, 150 yards coming up. Oxford's got a slight lead. It's anyone's race. First, oh, West Bloomfield caught up on that turn. Okay, we got a barn burner here. Lanes 4 and 5 are duking it out. Oxford's just, all of a sudden, man, he's just kicking. Oh, lane 4 and 5. So Bloomfield gets a first on that. Oxford gets a second place. Wildcats get a third place and a fifth place. Winning time was about a 158, second place, well, 158.79. Second place, 159.56. So not quite 1 second difference between the first and second place finishers there. Next race is the IM, the 200 IM, that's individual medley. And obviously medley means we mix it up like a salad medley. So lane 2, closest to the camera, we're going to have Nolan May. Lane 4, Zach Beatty. 6, John Bagans. Lane 8, Ethan LaRock. Butterfly. Noticing the butterfly, once again, they want to have a two-hand touch. They have to be simultaneous. Following the butterfly, we're going to see the backstroke. West Bloomfield's got a big lead over here in lane 5. Lane 3 looks pretty good too. We'll see. This is going to be a tight race. Here's our backstroke, 2 lengths backstroke. After backstroke, we're going to see the breaststroke. So right now, West Bloomfield has first place, third. Oxford's got second, fourth. Okay, breaststroke. There's a place to catch up. This is the place to do it. 2 lengths. Zach's making his move, but okay, West Bloomfield takes first. The Wildcats take second. Wildcats pick up third over here, lane 6. And closest to the camera, lane 2. Wildcats get fourth. West Bloomfield gets the 5th. And lane 8, Oxford Wildcats. Winning time was a very, very good time, 2:06.6. That's a very, very good time. Second was 2:18, which isn't too shabby either. State qualifying for Division 1 is 2:01.29. D2 is 2:04.89. So that's not too far off D2 state qualifying. Now the next race we're going to see is the 50-yard freestyle. That's the shortest race in competition swimming. Once in a while you see a one-length race as kind of an exhibition event, but the 50 free is the shortest. 50 yards freestyle, 2 lengths. And because it's such a short race, every element is magnified. You know, the start, you can't be sitting there lollygagging on the blocks. You got to be gone with the gun. Obviously, you have to swim fast, but you better nail your turn. You screw up your turn, then somebody else is going to come out ahead. And sometimes we see, if we watch the Olympics or the NC2As, that a lot of times the swimmer can reach out and just out-touch the other swimmer. So the finish becomes important, too. So 50 yards, 2 lengths freestyle. Now the 50 free, we're going to see 3 heats of the 50 free. The third heat is the one that's going to count for team points. One of the beauties of swimming and diving is that everybody gets the chance to get wet. Everyone gets in the pool, follow the team rules, all the eligibility requirements, go to practice, workout. Everybody competes. Nobody sits around and watches. Right now, while we're waiting, the officials are just double-checking, making sure everything's right from that 200-yard IM. Jason Leshevitz, one of our officials, is standing over at the scorer's table, just verifying the results of the previous race. Jim Edgar is working with the computer, the laptop computer at the scorer's table, making sure that everything is lined up. Okay, once again, Oxford Community Television, Charter, Channel 191, AT&T 99, Russell Courier with the camera, and this is Rod Charles with the microphone. Okay, here we go. Okay, we have Max Jensen, Ethan Pearson, Caleb Watson, and Garrett Blaylock. Max is in 3, Ethan's in 4, Caleb's in 5, and Garrett's in 6. Good swim. One of the things about swimming is that constant repetition to work on the stroke. It's so important. And what we're going to see as the season progresses is the refinement of the things that are important in competition. Typically in any sport, be it swimming, be it diving, be it wrestling, be it football, it's technique, it's strength, and it's conditioning. Those are the 3 elements. Okay, heat 2. It's all Oxford again. Lane 1, closest to the camera, is Logan Streeter, followed by Peyton Nager and Stephen Falcon. Lane 4 is Randy Puff. 5, Paul DeAngelis. 6, Matthew Sabadak. And lane 7, Simon Arnold. And I got to say, this is just wonderful that we get all the swimmers in the pool. Everybody's swimming, everybody's racing. Not only do we have a lot of events to participate in, but Oxford's got an 8-lane pool. The historic number of lanes in the usual high school pool is 6. Some schools have only 4. We've got 8. Plus, another really great thing is we have a separate diving area, so the swimmers can practice, the divers can practice at the same time. We don't have to worry about a diver landing on top of a swimmer during practice. That's a big thing for coaches. Okay. All right, this is the final heat of the 50 freestyle. 2 lengths again. Let's go through the lineup here. Closest to the camera, lane 2, Zach Allion. Lane 4, Carter Pollard. Lane 6, Peter Bagans. And lane 8, Lachlan Palmrose. 2 lengths freestyle.
Take your mark.
Official Jim Edgar looked like he was hesitating a little bit before he shot the air horn off. But he didn't trick any of the swimmers. They were patient. Look at him go! Oh, I'm going to hazard a guess that it was a Wildcat victory. Lane 4, 24.81. Lane 5, 25.14. Lane 6, 25.35. Lane 3, 26.86. Lane 8, 28.99. Lane 2, since I'm counting lanes, is 27.77. That's what we expect out of a 50 freestyle. It's a pretty tight race. Once again, Oxford Community Television, Charter Channel 191. AT&T is Channel 99. Rod Charles here at the microphone. Russell Courier with the camera. Our officials again tonight, Jim Edgar and Jason Leshevitz. Right now we're going to take the diver is going to loosen up a little bit. I'm going to see if I can ask Coach Rank a quick question here. So Russell, if you can follow me along, I'm going to sneak up on the coach. All right, I'm here with Coach Rank, and this is not harassment, by the way. And, Coach Rank, just a couple of things. What's the psychological difference? You coach the guys' team and the gals' team. Psychology-wise, how do you do that coaching-wise? What do you see and how do you handle that?
There's really not much of a difference. I mean, I hesitate to use the word baby. Them when they need to be babied, you're tough on them when you need to be tough on them. You work them hard. You teach technique. There's really not anything different, between coaching girls and coaching guys in that sense.
Okay, that's a very demanding sport. Last night we had a Lone Ranger meeting at my house, and I was talking about swimming, and I was complimenting you, I hate to say. I say that facetiously, but I was saying one of the things I've observed with Jackie coaching swimming is the kids are really enthused year in, year out. There's a lot of positive energy, and I know this past girls' season, I was just overwhelmed at the enthusiasm the young ladies showed,
Yeah, we had a great season. I'm hoping we can continue that into the guys' season because a lot of the guys were helping out with the girls' season, so they were around. They felt that enthusiasm, that excitement, so hopefully we can continue that in the white division here with the boys' team.
And what I'd say is for future swimmers or parents watching this, if you got young kids, get them involved. They're having a great time here, and a lot of it's due to Jackie Rank. All right, Jackie, final words, and I'll leave you alone.
I would just say that if you do have athletes that are interested in swimming or diving, reach out to one of us. We can put you in touch. We have Aqua Club here out of Oxford High School, and we're trying to work on a diving program as well, a diving club. We're trying to get a 3-meter diving board platform paid for so that we can start a club here so that they can have a good base, a good foundation coming into the high school program, and we can, continue our domination.
All right, cool. Thanks, Jackie. All right, folks, that was, Jackie Rank. I think a key thing that we just heard from Jackie is coaching isn't just knowing X and O's or technique. There's a lot of psychology that goes on, motivating swimmers, motivating divers. And what I've observed the last couple of years, Jackie has done a wonderful job doing that. And that is a very important element in any endeavor in life, but I think Jackie has excelled doing that. So let's take a break right now. We'll get ready for diving. All right, folks, here we are. Oxford High School, Oxford Natatorium. We're at the diving section of the diving and swim meet. Looks like we have 8 divers competing tonight. Not every diver will do all the dives tonight. There'll be some exhibition dives. Just a little heads up on some of the protocol involved tonight. Every diver typically does 6 dives. So we take their scores and obviously multiply by 6, and that determines first, second, third, etc. Every dive has a different degree of difficulty, and there is a required dive every meet. And the purpose of having a required dive is to make sure that a diver performs all the categories, so that nobody can avoid a certain category because it might not be their favorite. So once again, 6 dives. Every dive has its own assigned difficulty rating. Then multiply that times the judge score determines the points the diver earns on every dive. We have 3 judges. The Laker coach, the Wildcat coach, and Jason Leshevitz are official. He's our neutral party. Max Charlton coming up on the board. It's a 1-meter diving board, by the way. Forward dive, tuck position. The degree of difficulty is 1.2. Okay, nice clean entry. Now the three scores are 4, 4, 3.5.
Next diver, Raj Mulligar, Lakers.
Raj Mulligar for the West Bloomfield Lakers coming up.
Forward dive is up.
Raj
Difficulty.
is doing the same dive, forward dive, tuck, and the 1.2 degree of difficulty. I didn't see much of a tuck on that dive. We'll see if he gets a 0 or not, but it is the first meet, so we can be lenient. And the judges give him 2.5, 2, and 2.5.
Next diver is Vic Jacobs. Vic is doing a 103C.
Vic Jacobs coming up.
Forward, 1.5 somersault.
He's doing a forward dive, 1.5 somersaults, tuck position. Difficulty rating is 1.6. Nice dive. I'm going to guess he gets about a 5.5. And he gets a 5, a 4.5, and a 4.5 from our three-judge panel. Once again, we have three judges, one from each team, plus the official. David Thibodeau up on the diving board doing a forward dive, 1 somersault tuck. 1.4 is the DD. Nice dive, very nice dive. A little bit of a twist at the end there. Judges give him a 4.5, 4.5, and a 5.
Next diver from Oxford.
From Oxford,
Doing a 101C.
Evan Covert.
Difficulty 1.2.
Forward dive tuck, 1.2 is the DD. And obviously tuck means you want to tuck your knees up towards your chest. Good height off the board. And he gets a 4, 4, 4.5.
Next diver, Jake Vaca. Doing a 103C. Forward.
Jake Vaca doing a forward dive.
Difficulty
1.5 somersaults tuck. DD is 1.6. Now remember, tuck means you want to bring your knees up towards your chest. The tighter you tuck, the faster your body spins. Now he spun a little bit too much there. That's why he went over. Let's see what the judges say. The judges give him a 3.5, a 4, and a 4. Mitch Mulligan.
forward. 1.5 somersault.
A forward dive.
Difficulty 1.7.
1.5 somersaults pike. 1.7. This is a different body position. Nice dive. Very nice dive. Good height off the board. A little bit tentative on the entry there. 6, 5, 5.5.
Next diver, Jordan Green, doing a 103B.
Jordan Green coming up, doing a 1.5 somersault pike.
Difficulty 1.7.
Same dive we just saw. Let's compare the two. Wow. Excellent dive. Good height, good body control, good entry. And he gets a 7, 6.5, 6.5. So we'll say that's the best dive we've seen so far in our first round.
Somersault tuck. Difficulty 1.4.
Max Charlton doing a forward dive with 1 somersault, tuck position, 1.4. A little delay right now. We're just working on the scoreboard, making sure the clock works. Scores on that last dive were 2, 2.5, and 3. Raj Mulligar,
Somersault tuck. Difficulty 1.4.
Forward dive, 1 somersault tuck, 1.4 DD. Three and a half, 2.5, 3.5.
Forward, 2 somersault. Tuck.
Vic Jacobs doing 2 somersaults tuck, and the highest degree of difficulty so far tonight at 2.2. A little height off the board, would have given him more time to pull it off, but that was overall a decent dive. Very good. Gets a 3.5, a 2, and a 2. David Thibodeau doing a forward 1 1/2 somersault tuck. Difficulty rating is 1.6. Here again, pretty good coming off the board. Too much momentum, and he flopped over. Judges give him 3.5, 3.5, and 4. Evan Covert, 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Remember, the tighter someone tucks, the faster they spin. Okay, nice dive. Let's hazard a 5 on that. And he gets a 5, a 5.5, and a 5. You know, if you're doing 2 somersaults versus 1, obviously going back to that tuck statement, that would be the reason you would tuck tighter, is because you've got to do more somersaults. Anyhow, let's take a look here. We got Jake doing a 2 somersaults tuck. DD is 2.2. So 2 somersaults. Okay, good spinning. Needs a little height off the board. 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Okay, Mitchell Mulligan doing a forward dive, 2 somersaults pike. 2.3 is the difficulty rating. Nice dive. Wow. Good job, Mitchell. 6, 6, and 5.5. Okay, another 2.3. 2 somersaults pike. Same dive we just saw. Wow. You know, Mitch got a great score on that. And this one I'm going to say a little bit higher because he got off the board higher and came in closer. 6, 5.5, 5. Third round coming up. Max Charlton. Inward dive tuck, 1.4 is the degree of difficulty. They come off the board, tuck. There you go. He's got the basics there. 4, 2, 3.5. Raj Morkar, inward dive, tuck 1.4. Same dive we just saw. Four, 3, 3.5. Vic Jacobs is doing a inward dive, tuck, 1.4. Pretty good on the entry. 5, 4, 5. Dave Thibodeau. Back dive, tuck, 1.5. Three, 2.5, 3.5. Evan Covert, inward dive tuck, 1.4. All right, good dive. Very good dive. 5, 5, 4.5. He had nice height off the board and a pretty good entry there. Okay, Jake's coming up on the diving board. He's doing an inward dive tuck, 1.4. It's a 1 meter diving board. That's the high school diving board height. Very good height. A little bit rough on getting himself stretched out cleanly. It's a 5.5, a 4.5, and a 5. High school, we use a 1 meter diving board. College, you get into 1 meter, 3 meters. And if you really get serious, you get into some 10 meter platform diving. Okay, Mitch Mulligan doing a forward 2 1/2 somersault tuck. So watch how tight he tucks his knees up. Pretty good dive. All right, Jordan Green coming up from West Bloomfield. He's doing 2.5 somersaults tuck. Difficulty rating of this is 2.4. Five, 6.5, 5. Okay, round 4 coming up. Here comes Raj from West Bloomfield. Inward dive with 1 somersault, tuck. He's using the closer diving board this time. By the way, when you're looking at the diving board, you see that water squirting out. That's to create some ripples so that there's some depth perception with the water. Those things squirting out from underneath the diving board are there for a purpose. Four, 3.5. You know, if there wasn't some ripples in the water, it would be clear, and the divers, as they spin through the air, would have a more difficult time deciding when they should open up. So the ripple effect helps them know where they are as they're flying through the air. Okay, Vic Jacobs, 1 somersault. That was a 1.6 DD. And Vic, on that dive, gets a 3.5, a 4, and a 4.
Diver David is doing a 301C reverse dive tuck.
David Thibodeau,
1.6.
reverse dive tuck. So he's going to come off the diving board, fly through the air, and then come back towards the board. Well, he got part of it right. He came off the board. He gets a 2, 4, and a 3.5. Okay, Evan Covert. Inward dive with a somersault. 1 complete somersault, tuck position. 1.6 is the DD. Nice dive. Five, 5, and 4.5. Jake Fackow. Inward dive with a somersault. Tuck position. Nice dive. I think that probably was his best dive tonight, as far as technique that I could see from where I'm sitting. And he gets a 6, a 5, and a 4.5. Okay, here comes Mitch. Mitch for the Wildcats. So an inward dive, 1.5 somersaults, pike. Pike a little bit more difficult, get that spin move, so it gets a higher difficulty rating as a result. This is a 2.4 difficulty rating. Nice dive. Six, 6.5, 4.5. Okay, Mr. Jordan Green on the board doing a 1.5 somersault pike position. Inward. Everybody in the pool was holding our breath as he just about clipped his head on the board. Scared me. And he gets a 4, a 6, and a 5.5.
Now moving for our fifth round. Raj is doing a 201C.
Here comes Raj
Difficulty 1.5.
Mulliker from West Bloomfield doing a back dive tuck 1.5. So it's kind of like coming off the board in the air and then touching your toes and then straightening out. Four, 2, 4. Okay, here comes Vic Jacobs. Back dive, 1 somersault tuck. 1.5 is the DD on this one. Very nice. Judges' awards are 3.5, 3.5, 4.5. A little bit of a twist there at the end cost him about 0.5 point. Okay, here comes David Thibodeau for the Lakers. 1 somersault tuck reverse. The previous Laker diver had come too close to board. I'd say that last dive was way too far out there. Here comes Evan Covert. He's doing a back dive tuck. Rating on this is a 1.5 difficulty. Six, 6.5. Jake Faka doing a reverse dive tuck. Here again, the idea is on a reverse is to reverse direction in midstream. So he's going to come off the board and then come back towards the board. Nice dive. I don't know if it was the right dive, but it was a nice dive. Well, a little miscue there. And he gets 3 goose eggs for doing the wrong dive.
Mitchell is doing a 203C.
Mitch Mulligan,
1.5 somersault tuck.
back.
Difficulty
1.5 somersault tuck, 2.0 DD. Wow, great height coming off the board. Looked really good. 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Okay, here comes Jordan Green for the Lakers. Doing it back with 1.5 somersaults tuck. 2.0 is the difficulty rating. Is that a Roman numeral 2 on his back? Good height coming off the board, just not quite enough energy to spin around. 4, 4.5, 3.5. Okay, this is where we're going to wrap it up. This is the 6th dive. Here comes Raj. Raj is doing a reverse dive tuck, 1.6 DD. Two, 3, 3.5. Okay, here comes Vic. Doing a reverse dive with 1 somersault, tucking his knees up, and he's doing this. 1.6 is the DD. Three, 4, 5. Okay, David Thibodeau for the Lakers. Inward dive, tuck, 1.4. Nice job. Nothing glamorous, but a very nice job. And the judges gave him 5, 4.5, and 3.5. Comes Evan. He's doing a reverse dive, tuck position, 1.6 DD. Three and a half, 4.5, and 5. Jake, back dive, 1 somersault, tuck position, 1.5. Good height, once again. 4.5, 4, 4. He gets good height off the board, but he just needs to smooth out the dive and get a cleaner entry. Okay, here comes Mitch. Mitch is doing a back dive, 1.5 somersaults with a half twist. So he's going to be moving his body in all kinds of crazy directions. Five, 5.5, 4.5. Here we are, the finale. Jordan Green, reverse dive, 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.1 DD. Wow, great height. A little bit too much momentum, which caused him to flop backwards. You know, diving is physics, right? You got to use some strength coming off the board, and you've got a lot of physics going on. You know, the 3 elements in sports, I'm going to repeat this. One is strength, one is technique, and the other one is conditioning. And every sport emphasizes one of those 3 elements a little bit differently. You look at swimming, there's a lot of conditioning that goes on. Not as much in diving, but you're going to spend more time on technique to some degree. So right now we've got 10 minutes. Divers get a chance to loosen up. And we're gonna take a look here. We don't have an official score, and it looks to me just off the cuff it's going to be a pretty close meet right now. Let me grab the official. Hey, Jason, we want to have your handsome countenance here on the camera, if you don't mind. Just don't fall in. It'd be embarrassing when you can't swim.
Yeah.
So, Jason, any observations on the swim season coming up?
I mean, this is the first meet of boys season, so Oxford is traditionally pretty strong, and they seem to be doing well against West Bloomfield today, and that bodes well for their season.
And what area do you typically cover when you officiate?
We officials can go anywhere we want. So we're this side of the starter. It's got a starting unit, and on the other side it's called the referee. So the referee and the starter work together to watch the starts, watch turns at this wall. If there are judges on the other side, they're called turn judges. They watch for turns on the shallow wall. And then I just officiated judge some diving. And I'm one of the officials in my group of officials that like to judge diving. A lot of people don't because they think it's too subjective.
I think it's what?
Too subjective.
Too subjective. Well, as long as you're not an East German.
Well, yeah.
We all know about those East German judges from many, many years ago.
Sure.
So do you guys ever switch sides of the pool just for change of pace?
Not during a meet. We'll switch sides. Generally, the more experienced official is on this side. You can tell that Jim is more experienced because he has more gray hair than I do. And then
he's got more gray hair and you're better looking. Is that what you're trying to say?
I didn't say that at all. So then during the league meet, I was the head official during girls' league meet just a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to be the head official for this league meet as well.
Okay.
And we rotate during the league meet because it's such a long meet.
Oh yeah. Do you do other leagues besides the OAA?
I can. I'm not currently scheduled for any of them. No. So I'm currently scheduled here and at Holly this season.
Okay. And Holly is what? Flint Metro League, right?
Oh, are they?
I believe so.
I don't even pay attention to that because it doesn't bother me as an official. I'm gonna officiate one just like that. I do another.
Well, let me ask you this: in the swimming part of a swim meet, what's one of the craziest things you've ever seen?
I've seen somebody just stop swimming before they finished the race. They thought they'd finished, so they just stopped, and we're like, "You could keep going." And then the reverse of that, they keep swimming even after they finish the race. They swim in the wrong stroke. Sort of in the dangerous category, I have had somebody jump in the water before the person that they were taking over in a relay was actually done with their legs, so they just jumped on top of the person.
Ouch.
And that was an ouch. Yeah.
Let me switch over to diving. Have you ever seen a diver hit the diving board?
Oh, plenty of times. Yeah. And it comes away with so much as a little scratch to we needed to call the medical responders. Yeah.
And worse yet, it's a zero dive.
Yeah, exactly. We take care of the diver and then we move on to the next one.
All right, good deal. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a little break right now so Russell can go back to sleep, and we'll be catching you as soon as the divers are done, our swimmers are done warming up. We're ready to roll, or should I say we're ready to swim. Oxford Community Television. Mr. Russell Currier operating the camera. Rod Charles with the microphone. Charter Channel 191, AT&T 99. Oxford versus West Bloomfield. We just finished the diving. We're going to do the 100-yard butterfly. Okay, let's take a look at our lineup here. 4 lengths fly. Oxford's in lane 2. That's Ben Detzko. Lane 4, Garrett Warren. Lane 6, Nolan May. And lane 8, Matthew Sabadak. Okay, 4 lengths. We all know butterfly. Arms come over the head. Typically the thumbs come in the water first. Requires a 2-hand touch and a 2-hand finish. Dolphin kick. Takes a lot of upper body strength and coordination. Very close meet right now between the Lakers and the Wildcats. Commanding lead in lane 4. Garrett Warren. Looks like he hit about a 55.9 roughly. That's an eyeball guess. Lane 6, second place. Lane 2, 5th. Lane 8 looks like heading for a 7th place. So for the Wildcats, we had, once again, Benjamin Detsko in lane 2, Garrett Warren in 4, 6, Nolan May, and 8, Matt Sabadak. 56.03 was the winning time. That's a pretty darn good time for butterfly. Actually, it's a good time for any stroke. Okay, now we're going to have an exhibition heat. Now the score after the diving, 46 for the good guys, 32 for West Bloomfield. (46-32) after the diving. Oxford took 1-3 in the diving that we just saw. Okay, we have the 100-yard freestyle coming up. We have 2 heats. First heat, all Oxford. It's one of the things that helps Oxford be a good team is everybody's going to be in the race. And with an 8-lane pool, as I said previously, everybody gets experience. Nobody's going to sit and work out all week and then watch somebody else get wet. So lane 2, we've got Max Jensen, 3, Caleb Watson, lane 4, Logan Streeter, 5, Ethan Pearson, and lane 6, Peyton Nager. So all Oxfords. When you watch the freestyle or crawl stroke, what you want to see is the head down. As the arms rotate, the elbows should be high toward the sky. Just remember that phrase, elbows high toward the sky. Fingertip entry. You don't want the elbows dragging through the water. That's why you always hear coaches say, get those elbows up. Get them up. First 50 is about a 33.8 roughly for our lead swimmer. Lane 5. That would be Ethan Pearson. So elbows up, face down. While you're facing the water, they're blowing air out through their mouth and through their nose. Then turn your head to the side, grab some of that precious oxygen. The kick, the flutter kick, the legs stay fairly straight. There is a slight bend to the knees, but that's a natural bend. But you don't tell yourself to bend because then they tend to overdo it. Toes pointed. All right. Nice technique there. Remember, this is the first meet of the year. You know, this is the fruition of a lot of that early working on technique, the conditioning, and some strength training as well. So what we see today, we're going to see some improvement during the year. And one of the victories that we all achieve in sports, be it swimming or diving or whatever the sport is personal best, that effort toward personal improvement. So now we have our Heat 2 coming up. Lane 2, closest to the camera, we've got Alexander Olheiser. Lane 4, Zach Beatty. Lane 6, Mike Skepka. And lane 8, far side of the pool over there, is Randy Puff.
Take your mark.
And away they go. 4 lengths. Well, look at that intense kick. That's what you want to see in a race like 100 or a 50. A real strong, intense kick. Get that pace going. Got fast arm movement. They look like a flock of geese right now. Lane 5 hits the wall at about a 24-3 for his first 50. That's a really good split. Looks like about a 50.8 first place for Bloomfield. Oxford takes 2, 3, and 4, and 6, I would believe. Hard to tell. As Jason was saying earlier when I was speaking with our official over there, we have 2 judges. Especially important on a pool like ours, we have 8 lanes. They watch for proper technique, make sure no one does something silly like touch the wall with one hand, like on breaststroke or butterfly. They watch for the relays to make sure somebody doesn't jump too soon. Okay, our next race coming up. 500 yards freestyle. Remember, here at the high school, we have a 25-yard pool. That's the standard pool length in the United States, 25 yards. Olympic swimming, it's 50 meters. So when we watch those outstanding athletes in swimming at the Olympics, they're in a pool that's more than twice as long as this high school pool. So this is 20 lengths. 20 lengths. So you grab that old slide rule and figure out 20 lengths, 500 yards. Okay, let's go through the lineup here for the Wildcats. In lane 2, we have Zach Allian. Lane 4, Cole Bukowski. Lane 6, Cameron Mumbrew. Lane 8, Lachlan Palmrose. Every swimmer has a colleague at the far end of the pool that has a large placard so they can count how many lengths they've accomplished. Everybody loses track in a 500 in practice, sometimes on purpose. 20 lengths. Okay, getting ready to start the race now.
Lead swimmer will get the starting horn with 2 lengths and 5 yards to go. Take your mark.
Okay, 20 lengths. The air gun goes off. Official Jim Egger got him going. Yeah, one of the things that I've seen here at Oxford, I mentioned earlier that Jackie Rank does a great job getting the swimmers and divers going, motivated. That's a very important element. The other thing I noticed is, and this is year in, year out, is that the coaching staff here is fortunate to have a very supportive parent group. You know, a meet like this or any meet, it's very difficult to operate unless you have a support group. You need somebody running the scores table. You need somebody who backs up the electronics system. You know, those kind of things just don't happen. That takes some degree of organization, so the parents deserve a lot of credit for doing that. Okay, here's the first 100-yard split. First lead swimmer's about a 1:02.9. Who's got your phone? Let's check that on Google. Summer Olympics, where's it going to be? Okay, here we are getting close to the finish of the 500-yard freestyle. All right, Wildcats coming through again. Nice time over there on lane 4. That's a 5:34.98. Nice time, especially for this time of the season. First meet of the year. Okay, here at the scores table, when I mentioned earlier about the parents as backup timers, electronic system occasionally malfunctions. So right now, lanes 3 and L7, we don't have the score pad coming in just yet. The other thing that happens, by the way, is at the finish of a race, if you watch the officials, they are writing down on a notepad the order of finish. They don't want to rely entirely on the electronic touch system. Okay, here we go. This is a fun race coming up, the 200 freestyle relay. Each swimmer does 2 lengths. So lane 2 for the Wildcats. Simon Arnold, Ethan Pearson, Peyton Nogger, Logan Streeter. Lane 4, Mike Skepka, Nolan May, Benjamin Dotsko, and Carter Pollard. Lane 6, Peter Bagans, Randy Puff, Paul DeAngelis, Cole Bukowski. And lane 8, that's the farthest from the camera, Garrett Blaylock, Max Jensen, Max Charlton, and Caleb Watson. Each swimmer's doing 2 lengths. You're going to see a lot of intense kicking and fast turnover of those arms. This is not a race where you hesitate. You've got to go all out. Big lead there for the West Bloomfield Lakers. About a 5.5 second lead for West Bloomfield. And the Lakers take a first place in lane 5, followed by the Wildcats Lane 4. So 1-3 for West Bloomfield. Lane 5 had a 136.55. Lane 4 had a 140.04. Our next race is the 100-yard backstroke. 4 lanes backstroke. By the way, state qualifying on that 200 freestyle relays we just saw. For D1, it's 131.09. D2, it's 133.79. Backstroke. Let's talk about some qualifying for the state meet. Division 1, it's 55.29. Division 2, it's 57.99. So we have the backstroke coming up. That's 4 lengths. I already mentioned the flags are there to help the backstrokers judge their distance from the wall. The other thing I want to mention about the backstroke is the kick is a flutter kick. The legs are naturally going to flex. The toes should be pointed. And then going over to the arms, we want the arms to rotate. Typically, the little finger comes in the water first, and there's like a scooping motion underwater. It's almost like doing a push-up on your back. When you look at the turn, one of the things and this is a change in the last 15 years in backstroke, is the turns changed. They want the backstrokers on their back, of course, but previously, many, many moons ago, backstrokers would come to the wall and they would pivot. They would pivot around like in a circle. Now, first of all, I want to say this. They would touch the wall with their hand, then they would pivot in a circle. Now, they come to the wall, they get close to the wall, they can turn onto their stomach, do a flip turn, and come off on their back. Now, they're allowed 1 stroke as they come into the wall. If they do more than 1, they're disqualified. But once again, watch when they get to the wall, they're going to turn on their stomach and do a flip turn. That's a significant change over the last number of years we've seen. Another thing is backstrokers nowadays go a long ways underwater on their turns and on their start. Okay, let's check out what we've got going here. Lane 1, Simon Arnold. Lane 2, Ethan LaRock. Lane 4, Garrett Warren. Lane 6, Alexander Olheiser. And lane 8, Steve Elkin. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, that split was about a 28-7 in that first 50 yards. If you watch that swimmer in lane 4, you notice how far underwater he went before he popped up to the surface? Same thing on the turns. Turns on his stomach, pushes off. He's kicking underwater. About a 59.5 on that 100 backstroke. Nice time. Lane 6 over here. Lane 2 and 3 are duking it out. Oh, and the Wildcats. Lane 2. Ethan LaRock just touched out his competitor in lane 3 with just a stretch of the hand. Nice job. Winning time looks like about almost a 1 minute flat. 1 minute, 0.35 second. Or 1 minute, 1 minute flat, 0.35. Didn't quite break that magic minute mark.
Event 11, the 100-yard breaststroke.
Okay, we're coming up toward the end of the meet. We've got the breaststroke and a relay to go. Once again, Oxford Community Television, Charter Channel 191, AT&T 99. This is Rod Charles speaking. Our esteemed colleague, Mr. Russell Courier. Four-lengths breaststroke. Okay. Lane 2 here close by the pool. We've got Peter Bagans. Lane 4, John Bagans. Lane 6, Mike Skepka. And lane 8, Paul DeAngelis. Two lengths breaststroke coming up. Let's see what their split is. About a 31-7, I would guess, for the first 50 split. Oxford looking pretty strong here. Looks like we got a 1-2-3 for the Wildcats shaping up. If that's the case, I'd say the case is closed for a Wildcat victory. Good meet tonight, by the way. Very competitive swimming and diving. A couple of divers we saw tonight are some of the better divers you're going to see in the OAA. All right, about a 168, 169 for the first place, 19 for second, third, roughly. That's very good lineup for Oxford in that breaststroke. Let me tell you, 106.78. That's not too shabby, especially this time of the year. Lane 2 had a 1962. That's excellent. Lane 6 a 110.27. Very, very good swimming. Lane 8 looking good too. Nice technique over there in that one turn I was checking out. So, Oxford picks up a bevy of points in the breaststroke. Let's see what we have here now. Okay. Once again, Oxford Community Television. Oxford, Michigan. .400-yard freestyle relay. Relays are always tons of fun. Fun for the family, fun for the parents watching, the swimmers, everybody. It's fun. Relays are always a highlight. Like one of the things a lot of schools do at the beginning of the season, they have an all-relay meet just to build the excitement. Anyhow, we have the 400 freestyle relay coming up. And once again, Wildcats are in the even lanes. Let's go through who we have coming up for the Wildcats. Lane 2, close to the camera. Cameron Mumbrew, Matthew Sabadek, Stephen Falcon, and Ethan Larock. Lane 4 for the Wildcats, Cole Bukowski, Zachary Beatty, Garrett Warren, and John Bagans. Lane 6 for the Oxford Wildcats, Zach Allian, Randy Puff, Lachlan Palmrose, and Alexander Olheiser. The West Bloomfield Lakers are in lanes 3, 5, and 7. So 4 lengths freestyle. This is a race. You know, it's you don't. I don't want to say all out because 4 lengths you can't. You're going to run out of oxygen, but it's a sprint race in a sense. And we have the 2 officials making sure that the relay guys don't jump too soon. If they do, their team is disqualified in that lane. It happens. Doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. You know, the previous swimmer has to have his fingers touch the wall before the feet of the next swimmer leave the blocks. And they look at that. It's something that they catch. And here they go. All right, we already got a close race here. You see how the Oxford swimmer came into the wall, a little bit behind the West Bloomfield swimmer, but then had a better turn, came out ahead after he popped to the surface. That's the sort of thing that coaching can make a difference on. A little thing like a turn can win you a race. Okay, let's see how this handoff goes. Looks clean. Okay, Oxford's got a commanding lead. I would guess that unless the last two Bloomfield swimmers are supermen, that Oxford's going to win this race as far as the first place goes. Or there's a disqualification. We've got a battle still shaping up between lanes 3 and 6. Here we go, the last swimmer for the Oxford Wildcats in lane 4. Wildcats have an insurmountable lead over here in the battle between lanes 4 and 5. Yeah, one of the things I see that's really good is for the Oxford swimmers, I see some really good technique, whether they're in first place or third or fifth or whatever. I see those elbows up high. I see a nice strong kick. I see very good breathing technique. All right, let's go. Still going strong, looking good over there. There's no stopping. Here again, one of the fun things about athletics, be it swimming or whatever the sport is the participation, the effort. A lot of things get accomplished. Our final swimmer getting close to the wall. The whole natatorium is getting excited. You know, folks, I think that's called good sportsmanship. Oxford Community Television. We'll call Oxford Community Television the home of good sportsmanship. Channel 191 for Charter folks and Channel 99 for AT&T. Swimmers are coming across the bulkhead right now after that last relay race. Let's wait a minute or so and see if we can come up with the final score. I think it's pretty safe guess that the Wildcats came out ahead on this. It's the first dual meet of the season. It's the OAA white division, which is a more competitive division. It's here again teams that have a good record from the previous season. So Oxford's in the OAA white, and my guess is they're starting the season off looking pretty darn good. At least officially by scores. There's a lot of ways to look good, but one of them is by scores, and only one. Okay, we're waiting here at poolside for Jim Edgar. Right now what he's doing is he's verifying the placement of the relay, making sure who's got first, who's got second, double-checking. What they do is they double-check what the touchpad shows, but then they also double-check with the backups, the folks that are doing the backup, just in case there's some kind of a discrepancy. In the meantime, the scores table is also working on the official score. It's kind of like watching a football game when there's a touchdown scored and they want to review the tape to make sure. That's what we're doing right now. You hear the cheering going on of the teams. Once again, Oxford Wildcats versus the West Bloomfield Lakers. Observation, like both teams have pretty tight group of athletes, somebody well disciplined. Okay, December 21, by the way, mark your calendars. It's Oxford against Clarkston. Clarkston historically has a pretty good program in competition swimming and diving. It's another OAA dual meet, swimming and diving. That's December 21 here at Oxford High School. 72. The Lakers got 72, by the way. 114. Let's ask Adam again to repeat that. Adam, you mind repeating that score for the people on television, please?
Absolutely. For the West Bloomfield Lakers, we had a score of 72, and for the Oxford Wildcats, 114. Congratulations, Wildcats.
You said that in reverse order, kind of like you're trying to fool us or something there, Adam.
That's the only way to do it.
You're kind of keeping us on the edge of our.
We got to build up that suspense, otherwise it's not.
Well, you did it. Okay. Let's wrap it up, folks. Let me say it once again. Russell Courier, Operating the camera, doing the recording. This is Rod Charles with the microphone. Oxford Community Television, 191 Charter, 99 for AT&T. Oxford defeated the West Bloomfield Lakers in our very first meet of the year. So great way to start. We'll see you on December 21, Oxford versus the Clarkston Wolves here at Oxford. See you around the pool.